Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today I really wish I had more time to do this series, and so I'll probably pick this back up in the new year. But this week and next week, I want to do a mini little podcast series called Don't Settle. And it's in honor of my course Audacious that I've been selling. And Audacious is really all about you becoming the version of yourself who is unrecognizably confident. Because what you're going to do in Audacious is build so much self trust, so much self belief, so much self worth that it is easy and effortless and natural for you to go all in creating all that you want in life. And so it's a lot of the vibe and energy of never settling for less, not just settling for good enough, not having a life where you wake up anything short of invigorated, or you feel like you can't have what you want, or that it's just not what you thought life would be. I don't like any of that. That's not the energy. That's not the vibe. And I think confidence really changes that. Having the self-worth, self-trust, self-belief to go after those things really changes it. And so in honor of that, I really just wanted to do this mini little series called Don't Settle. And so today's episode is all about the number one shift that I would really be making if I wanted to make sure that I never ever settled in life. Let's dive right in. What I want you to do is just in honor of this episode, for this episode, I want you to think of the one thing that you want most in the world and not your overall lifestyle desires or this is my big dream long term. I just want you to think of the next one thing you're really wanting. And I want it to be something that you are craving so badly, so much. You think about it all day long. That thing, pull that up to your mind. Whether it is paying off debt, whether it's a credit card or your business loans or mortgage or student loans, whether it's you manifesting $50,000, whether it's having your first $100,000 year or your first $100,000 month or your first $100,000 in your bank account, whatever it is, whether it's meeting the partner of your dreams and no longer being the 11th wheel in your friend group. I have been there. Or if it's creating the funds to buy your first house or upping your income enough to easily afford an apartment that's, $5,000 per month. I want you to pull that thing that you really want up into your mind. And I'm going to tell you the biggest shift that I would make today, starting today, if I wanted to make the most amount of progress towards going all in on making that happen. Let's do this. Okay, I'm excited. The reason that you have not yet done it, as humans, we come up with a lot of excuses and a lot of reasons why we haven't, and a whole bunch of things. But if I've worked with, and let me say this, I've worked with a lot of clients, and almost always it has boiled down into this one bucket of things, I would say. So the reason you haven't done it can be, and I would argue, is as simple as your fears, doubts, or shame is higher than your belief. And so some people would be like, well, I don't have the money, I don't have this, or I don't have that. Yeah, that might be true, but I think if the fear, doubt, and shame were lower, we could go create that, right? And that's really what I'm saying is at the core of it, I often like to think, and of course, there's going to be different things that stand out, and I could be wrong, but generally, I think it's the reason you haven't created it is your fears, doubts, or shame is currently higher than your belief. What if it is that simple? What if it's that simple? And I want you to be excited that it's that simple because it means you can fix it. So I want to take you through a couple of examples of what this looks like too. So doubt and fear, I'm just going to chunk into one example because I think it's easiest and they often look kind of similar. But an example I've seen of this a lot is I have had clients that say they want more money. They say they want more clients. They want the bigger business. But what's also happening simultaneously and that they're trying to ignore and just bypass is they're doubting their abilities. They fear the repercussions of how do they get more money? How do they get more clients? What if they can't handle the success? What will happen if they do this? And all of these things. And so they keep feeling like they're going all in. They're doing this is a very famous line. I'm doing everything I can to create the more clients, to create more income, to have more of the business I want. But if you dig in just even a little digging, you just scrape the surface a bit. What often I will see is that we really, really either doubt that we can do it or we fear what will happen if we do. So for example, a couple examples that I've seen before is subconsciously, let's take the fear example first. They fear that having more income, having more money, having more clients, like they really do want, but it would require simultaneously giving up their slow mornings, giving up their rest, giving up their current lifestyle. Or they might fear people joining and then thinking that you aren't worth the investment. Or they fear that they'll have to really sacrifice. And so what that will do is block them. Their fear will be bigger than that desire or their belief in their ability to do it. Or a doubt one might look like, you really, really want to create this, but you don't actually fully believe it's possible for you to create the kinds of money that you want. And that doubt is bigger than your belief that you obviously can do it. And so what is happening here is your fear or doubt in this example is bigger than your belief. And there could be all sorts of things fueling this. Maybe you think that money has to be really hard. It has to be really hard to make money. It has to take a lot of sacrifices, and you're playing out that narrative. Or you think that you have to burn out in order to make that kind of money because maybe that's what you saw growing up. So you will play out that narrative. Or maybe you're not recognizing that, but you notice that even though you're saying you want these clients, you're self-sabotaging, you're avoiding, you're not going as bold as you want to. And so you're not creating the clients, but maybe, like I said earlier, you still get to keep your slow mornings. And maybe you actually want the slow mornings and to avoid burnout, for example, or avoid overworking or avoid being judged. Like I said, with maybe people won't think it's worth the investment. Maybe you want that more than you want the money, the clients. And not that you actually want it more, but your disbelief, your doubt, your fear, your shame might be stronger than your belief that this could be a good thing. This could be beneficial. This can be amazing. This is something that I can create. And so if you really think the repercussions of the success, or you doubt your abilities, or you think it'll take something that you don't like, if you have more disbelief and fear, if that is stronger than your belief, you won't create it. It's that simple. Let's take a shame example. So I have seen someone chase $100,000 launches for well over a year. And in chasing those launches and not hitting them, she was creating the belief that because she hasn't created it yet, it must not be that she's good enough. There's something about her that's not good enough. She's not there. She's not skilled enough. She's not talented enough. People don't see the value enough. All of these stories. And when we really dug in, and I want to name that's shame. When we dug in, when I coached her, it turns out someone told her, she picked up somewhere on scrolling social media, I don't even know where, but someone had told her that $100,000 is what would mark her as quote unquote making it. It would make her more quote unquote legit, or that's the mark of being quote unquote good enough. And that will really fuck you up. That's also why it's so important, and it's a big thing that we talk about in Audacious, is to be so solid in your self-worth so that when you are, whether consciously or subconsciously, ingesting things and hearing things from people and picking it up, it doesn't have the ability to change how you feel about yourself. And when we are doom scrolling or just scrolling social media, whatever it is, if we are ingesting things that make us feel differently about ourselves, the best thing you can do is to raise your self-worth. And that's exactly what we do in Audacious. So she saw somewhere in someone's marketing that if she wasn't having or hitting $100,000, she wasn't good enough. So every single time she went up to bat and she wasn't hitting it, she was already playing out the story from the minute she started, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. And so because she was telling herself that, of course she didn't hit it. Of course she wasn't hitting it. She created narratives subconsciously, unintentionally, that she wasn't good at selling, that she just couldn't get these things right. She wasn't as talented as other people. Here's the real kicker of this as well with this shame, is that she really wanted to buy an apartment. But because she now had these stories that she wasn't good at selling, she now also had this story that now all of a sudden she wasn't good at making money. And now she's not good enough to get the apartment. And she'd never get what she wanted at this rate. Do you see how that just compiles and compiles and compiles and compiles? This is why it's so important that we have high self-belief, high self-trust, high self-worth, so that we don't get shaken like things like this. So we don't take on the shame. So our shame cannot be bigger than our belief. Do you see how much shame is really tied up in that? And so all of a sudden, something someone told her is why she's not good enough to have an apartment. The shame is bigger than the belief. So I just wanted to give you these two examples, and they might be happening to you. But the good news is they're really easy to change inside of Audacious. Taking a quick break so that you can hear from my clients. I love what I've created with my clients and what they've been able to do from our coaching, but I don't want you to just take my word for it. Here's what some of my clients have had to say while working together.
Working with Makenzie as a coach has been so impactful. I have never in my life felt more seen or safe to explore things that really matter to me.
When I came to Makenzie, I was so scared that I was going to have the same experience where this person promises all these things, and then you get inside and you feel almost invisible. She remembers everything about you. She's obsessed with you and your vision.
And it has been so life-changing.
We all are working with Makenzie because of Makenzie. Mackenzie's really good at coaching you by asking the most minimal amount of questions, or just like spinning things in just like the tiniest little way. And I think she leaves a lot of space for us to do the talking, and for her to just give us like one tiny reframe or one tiny question or like one little shift that allows us to be like, oh, damn, it's not that hard.
She really is a leader in the confidence field.
The way that Makenzie coaches is just so warm and welcoming, and it gives you permission to explore areas of yourself that really kind of feel scary to do alone.
I'm going to cry because it's totally changed my life.
Working with Makenzie has been one of the best decisions I've made in my life and business.
And so let's go into the solution. This is the one shift I would make. And it's hard to do, but it's so simple. This is the one shift I would make if I wanted to be able to go all in on my biggest dreams. So if I had to boil this down to why you haven't created what you want yet, and the one thing standing in the way of you and your biggest desires, or if I had to boil my process for going all in, that's literally an entire module in Audacious and hours of content. It's so good. Oh my God, it'll change your life. But if I had to boil this process into, 1 minute, let's say, if I had to boil down the secret to creating your next biggest desire into one step, it's this. You have to build your belief to be stronger than your fears, your doubts, and your shame. That is it. That is the answer. When your belief in your worth is so high, when your belief in your ability to create what you want is so high, when you know you're enough, when you trust yourself to take the action and not stop, when fear pops up, when doubt comes up, when shame wants to tell you to turn around, you're not good enough, all the things, you'll create it when your belief is higher, stronger, bigger than those fears, doubts, and shame. You can, of course, decrease the amount of fear, doubt, and shame that you have. And that's a big initiative that we do in Audacious. We make it so you doubt so much less. You have so much less fear. You have so much less shame. And I can literally tell you, by the module. So we have a whole module called Fearless, which is all about debunking and overcoming the fears that you have around going all in, around being confident. So things like fear of being seen, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of judge, fear of not being good enough. All of those things we debunk in that module because it's so critical for going all in. When it comes to getting rid of and decreasing the doubt, we have the module called Head Turning Confidence, which is all about you becoming so self-assured in yourself that it literally turns heads. And then we have the module called Self-Talk plus Self-Trust, which is where we really debunk shame and get you past that and have you really not only talking to yourself better, but looking at yourself in the most loving light possible and building up that trust. And all of this makes it so it is so easy for you to decrease your doubt, shame, fear, while also building up your self-worth, your self-belief, and your self-trust. So it's so easy inside. But the fix that I would say is if you're not ready to join Audacious, which you absolutely should, you should come talk to me. I really think this course is for everyone. It is by far the best thing I have ever created. It is $1,111, and it's truly the best, most life-changing investment you will ever make. If you're not ready yet, then the thing that I would start to do is just start to look where is my fear bigger here? Where is my doubt bigger here? Where is my shame bigger here? And where can I start to change my mind? Sit with that. So when this comes out, I think it will be, oh God. Oh no, what day is coming out? Okay, yes. When this comes out, Audacious will very much still be available. The other thing is when this episode comes out, today is the last day. Happy Halloween, by the way. I just realized today is the last day of my 1-to-1 bonus for October. I've been a little quieter about this bonus, but It's just because we were so busy promoting all the other massive ones. But when you book a call for one-to-one coaching by the end of today, you will get a 7th month of coaching for free. And this is in honor of the really exciting and beautiful rebrand that we just launched. And so if you have considered one-to-one coaching, you want to look into one-to-one coaching, now is the perfect time for you to join one-to-one coaching because of that 7th month bonus. Really what I believe is that one-to-one coaching it's so good. It's 6 months long, and I'm not going to bore you with all the nitty-gritty details, but what we really do is we take all of the concepts in Audacious and help you become unrecognizably confident with the confidence side of it. But we also take all the beautiful business sides of Unlimited and those concepts, and we help you basically make it so you can skyrocket your earning potential. And that combination where we make your earning potential unlimited, we help you become audacious and unrecognizably confident. What happens in one-to-one because of that is with the money, with the audacity, with the confidence, we make 5-year plans happen in 5 months inside of one-to-one. There's so many good, juicy little bits that you get. You get all of my product suite. You get to talk to me every single day. You have calls with me every single week. And you will be so amazed by how much you can do in our 6 months together. We are going to be talking every single day. We're going to be talking business. We're going to be talking confidence. We're going to be healing anything that needs to be healed, unhelpful patterns. We are going to do somatic coaching in there. We really, really come at it from all angles to make sure that your 5-year plans, your big audacious goals, your income that you're craving all gets to happen inside. And I will say this too, one-to-one is for the girls who are not here to play small. They are ready to take the action. They are ready to go all in. They are ready to be pushed. They are ready to be challenged. They are ready to have things questioned so that they can grow, so that they can become the person that they want to be with the income that they want, with the business that they want, and with the life that they're really so ready for. And so I am going to also make sure I put the link for one-to-one to book a call in the show notes. But if you apply by the end of today, you will be able to get that 7th month of coaching for free. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to talk to you guys on a sales call. It's so low pressure, no pressure at all. It's really just us talking and seeing if this is a good fit. I want to make sure it's a good fit as much as you want to make sure it's a good fit. And we'll just talk through what we could potentially work together in one-to-one with. So go ahead, click the link below. You can still join Audacious as well. That is also in the show notes. And thank you for listening. If you love the podcast, if you love Bank on Her, I would love for you to share this episode on your stories and drop it 5 stars. It would mean the world. It would mean the world. So thank you. And I will catch you next week.